Sylvia, worry, luister van mij. Deze elke dag bij mij is vandaag, maar je mag vandaag komen. Vandaag is een bijbelangrijke dag. Het is een very big day. Ik heb vandaag het voorrecht dat Springbokken naar mijn huis toe komen om voor mij een rak te komen bouwen. Hulle noemen het building the Ruck. Ja. Niet zelf niet vandaag. Niet vandaag. Ik kom iedere andere dag. In feite, je kan niet. Toen komen ze klaar gereden. Als je kan vanavond komen ze rijden. Ja, kom jij. Kom bij. Ik praat met Springbokken vandaag. Kom bij. Nonsens. Lastige gieten. Alright. Hey. Hallo, kom. Oma. Mijn vader.
Yes.
Mag dat met je rechter leven. Hallo, Johan. Jij is Ruby.
Rudolf.
Mag dat welkom, jullie man. Maar je lukt goed hoor.
Baie dankie.
Ja,
feeling good.
You looking good. Ik heb één vraag, man. Kom maar, jullie mij zo zeer.
Wat heb je?
Er is nog wel even een dag in mei om meer gunst te doen. Maar hoe kan jullie rugby los en over rakken bouwen? Hoe de Ruby?
Rakken bouwen?
Ja.
Is het behind?
Nee, ik word jullie company zo building the Ruck. Ruby als we jou die niet.
Oma, dat is not building the Ruck. It's behind the Ruck. It's a rugby show. It's a rugby show.
We know jullie gaan mee rakbalken als een rugby show. Ik like you, Ruby. Ik like you. Verstaan, Oma, no.
Did you send the email? Who sent the email? It was you. I didn't send the email.
Kom laatst, Ruby. Ruby zal het Johan praten. Wat is die? Bouw je een rak of kom je...
This is Behind the Ruck. The #1 rugby podcast. It's a rugby show, Oma.
Is jij een rugby show?
Yes. We talk rugby to our viewers.
Nou, wat zullen we in mijn huis?
We had to have our show in your house. That was the...
Hey, jealous aan mijn vader!
Yeah, not building the Ruck, Oma.
Jelle komt die talk show. Ik heb een mooi gemaakt achter en doos eigenlijk Johan en dan Ruby geen van mij. Oké. Mijn vader, ja, als we later financiën praten. Hier kom je naar voor mij. Kom van achter je. Mijn vader, ja, hij zei in kossie ziek. Man. Daar die Ruby, daar die, nee.
Partner, here we go, huh? Excited. #1 rugby podcast done a little bit different today, guys. Hey?
Like that, huh? Ouma Sarie, that was nice,
It's very nice, very nice. But I don't like the fact that she wanted us to flip and build the Ruck.
Yeah.
She must know behind the Ruck is what? What is behind the Ruck?
It's your #1 rugby podcast.
#1 rugby podcast, partner.
But we'll see, it's episode. Yeah, it's the first time, so we'll work at that. Exciting times to be here, man.
Yeah, we're going places, we're seeing new places. Why are we in George, partner? Please share with the people, why are we here?
Yeah, so...
What are we doing in Ouma Sarie studios?
First of all, we're here because of the Stormers playing a warm-up game. And I'm still, shaking it loose. So we got a couple of warm-up games playing against SVD and the Sharks as well. But I'm super excited just to be in George, okay? We're actually in Grantwilliams, okay, studios, first of all. Visiting Ouma Sarie. And we've also got some Grantwilliams boys in the studio, okay, all the way from George.
So we're covering all the
yeah. We keep it here while we're here.
I like it.
Super
I like
excited,
it a lot. Guys, obviously from Behind the Ruck, episode powered and sponsored by Lulabet. Maak alles.
Ga naar internet, okay? Sports.lulabet. Not S. Sports.lulabet.co.za.
Alright, check it out. Okay, guys.
Check it in Google.
Happy days. You excited?
Exciting times, hey? Before we keep cracking, hopefully the coffee van Ouma Sarie will be lekker.
Yes.
Melkie. Ach, zeker meneer Roerie. Verstaan ik nog later nog.
Damn.
Ja. Oma moet mij lekker uitzorgen.
Okay, you're gonna be fit after what you tired. Right.
Ja.
Buddy, then quickly. Obviously, it's a nice setup. The intro is nice, but the main thing, partner, the main thing was always the main thing.
The ruler, the line-up.
Geef mij de line-up.
The wordt 65 each.
Let the people know what is on the episode today.
We're super excited. Like I said now, okay, Garden Root Boys is in the studio. And first up, we got Zane Kirchner in the house. Zane Kirchner. Yes.
Wow.
Fullback, center 30 now and then. But fullback, he always told me, listen, when I play against you in the Stormers, I'm going to make it rain with balls. Okay. Be ready, yes.
So he's coming.
He's coming down.
All right.
All the way from Blanco, yeah. And then straight up after that, we got to have a little bit of a review because we have to check the games.
Top weekend of rugby.
Top games coming, also coming up, but also we got to check that Springbok Tonga game. Some nice action there in that first 5-8, that 10 channel. So there's a couple of
talking points there.
But like last weekend, we had a friend of the show, a friend of BTR from episode 6, Joe Applon.
Do we over this week?
And we're doing the same this today from episode 4. The guy from episode 4.
Stop feeding the people.
I almost said the boogeyman was the boogeyman. He's back.
Yes,
he wants more. He wants more. So Warrick Gelant will be with us doing our video as well. Yeah.
So that is why, just for the people, Warrick is from Neisner, part of the garden.
Yes.
Zane Kirchner is from Blanco, from the garden route. So the garden route are getting serviced this week.
Yes,
from behind the ruck.
Experience, guys.
Class.
We're taking it home.
Let's go.
Let's go. Up next, Zane Kirchner.
Hey, is that man?
He's that man. Yo, we have to come to George to get him.
He doesn't pick up his phone. He doesn't make any calls. Nothing.
Episode 13, eh?
Yes,
30 invites, but okay.
Fine. Zane, welcome to Behind the Ruck, buddy.
Thanks for having me. Can't complain. Obviously, George and Cape Town's been wet for a couple of weekends, but
couple of months,
couple of months
is
what it is.
Yeah,
is what it is.
It's nice to have you, man, and welcome to our show. Hopefully, you've been watching, liking, and what?
Subscribing.
Do you think he's done it?
I've been watching. I probably didn't like. I probably didn't subscribe.
Well,
tell me, I've had a lot of laughter.
Because Warrick also said that episode 4, they want to be on the show first. That's how George people work. Garden people work like that. They want to be on the show first,
then they subscribe.
Yeah.
Trust and go.
It's rude, but
it's very rude.
We gotta accept it.
Okay, it's lekker. Dis nie lekker nie. But Zane, first of all, it's lekker to see you again. I know I haven't seen him in a few years. Meneer, so it's nice to see you in live and direct. How's retirement been? What are you currently up to in your life? What are you doing? Please share with the viewers, and I will just listen.
Do you call it retirement when you said you didn't retirement? I actually think just moved on from the game playing, but on a daily basis, full-time dad, helping SWD at the moment. Still having fun on the field, doing a couple of shuttles. Running some and kicking some of the guys' rackets. So, still out there having fun.
So the SVD, eh?
Yeah.
So you're coaching SVD?
Yeah, a bit of a backline coach.
And you had a game this past weekend, this Friday.
We had a game past weekend against yourself, Mr. Dion.
Against the Stormers.
And
where were you? Where were you?
No, family first.
Okay.
I had duties to attend to, so we were quickly up in Pretoria for the little one. She's been busy with the activities.
Yes.
But you'll definitely see me this Friday.
We're playing them back to back.
Okay. I also had a little birdie.
What did the birdie say?
The little birdie came to Paigey. The birdie said, Paigey, your partner scored and he was dancing.
Oh, you're following me, yeah?
Zijn je parents? I was dancing.
35, 36, years experience.
I just feel like, I told my wife, Zane, right? I told my wife, why is my partner dancing? He's got 2 kids, he's 35. He shouldn't be dancing on the rugby field anymore.
The Gangnam Style is in slow-mo now. You know? It's not like 2010, like a fast one.
Hij is lekker geoelie niet.
Ja, maar die man heeft mij gehoord die week, nee. Hij heeft mij gehoord die week.
Is het? Oké, cool.
Groot experience, oude mannen. Doen niet meer dansen.
Is it work like that?
We zullen het zien die naweek.
Yeah, super excited for that, yeah. Zane, just quickly, obviously we're super excited to have you on the show. But we just want to quickly just check in with you. How was life settling in, coming back from, from Ireland, from Wales? You've been to a couple of countries, Pretoria also. Yeah. That move from you from, Griquas to Pretoria, to overseas, to Ireland, to Wales. How was it, coming back after retirement and your time overseas?
Yeah, I think obviously you left home with a lot of, not great expectations, but a lot of dreams. And obviously I got an opportunity down in Kimberley. What was that, 2003? And obviously a total different era that a lot of the guys today is pursuing their careers. we were very old school. Things was very done old school. There weren't really a lot of social media, and there weren't a lot to be seen about yourself. So you go down packing, probably one bag, didn't add a lot of clothes, didn't add a lot of things, and there you go. A couple of years went by. I think 2007 we got to win the Vodacom Cup, and a couple of things fell in place. Got a call from the Bulls to eventually go up to Pretoria. That was 2008. Yeah, a bit of an up and down season just post the success the guys had 2007 with the first South African team to win the Super Rugby.
Only South African team. Only South African team to win the Super Rugby. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, and I think just in general, the fact coming from George, a lovely place, smaller to both of those areas, which was Northern Cape Kimberley, and then to your big cities, big city lights. So yeah. Luckily, I could keep myself composed, keep my feet grounded, and a few years later, 2012 went quite well. I enjoyed that season in general. 2013, a couple opportunities came, and that's what saw me going abroad to Ireland. Obviously, at the stage, my missus was pregnant, so going anywhere outside an English-speaking country would be very difficult to adapt and to adjust. So we were probably ready for the language and obviously the adjustment of being adaptable. But I think in general, the fact that you've been on that side now, getting to 3:30 in the afternoon during winter, pitch dark, freezing cold. So you've got yourself looking at your missus and you're looking at the little one. Are you going for a second afternoon nap to get yourself being kept up all night? So I think just in general, the fact that you had, or myself, coming from a small town, really got stretched from a psych perspective, and how I perceive life, and how I can put a lot of things into perspective for myself. Obviously, that route took me through 2013 to I think 2016, starting 17 because we're overlapping seasons, as you know. And then I ended up in Wales. There was a lot of good talk regarding. I always remember the first day I went there for my medical, and the coach was like, "Listen, just be very careful where we are. Don't want to be walking around late nights." I'm like, so I looked outside and I'm like, I started laughing. He's like, well, "Why are you laughing?" Ik zei, "Meneer, waar in de meneer?" Obviously in English. Maar die hoeken ken ik. Dus alle hoeken waren ze maar. So
no, that's fantastic, man.
And then obviously COVID came, brought me back home end of 2019, and nobody foresee COVID. So George is what it is.
COVID changed a lot. So you like to move around, eh? Hij is ook een chameleon in een smarty boxie. Hij like pikkie daar.
How did your mind go to that?
I don't know. It's all over the show. Yeah, so you went from, Sinkies and Griquas to Rand and Pretoria, to euros in Ireland, to pounds in Wales.
I actually visited him in Newport. In Wales. Oof. Smarty boxy, actually, the stadium we played. The stadium was actually a smarty box.
Zane, just quickly, so let's go back to rugby quickly. So the type of rugby when you were at Leinster, Leinster, we all know what reputation is. And then you went to Dragons, which is a different type of category, playing a different type of competition. What was the difference of professionalism and rugby in terms of those two countries and teams?
I think in general, if you look at games and if you look at strategies and how people want to start playing, I mean, everybody is trying to copy and paste what the best is doing, whether that's at club, and as we spoke on that side, as in Europe, or then obviously nationally. I think you found, and understand me correct, to become a great player, you first need to be a great pro. And I think a lot of those guys behind the scene, everything that's not go unseen from a talent perspective, that a lot of guys don't get rewarded on. And I think in a nutshell, they were very hard on themselves in those small little details. Where you went to Wales, it was everything that everybody's trying to do. Especially we were a smaller team. I say we were think it was Cardiff, Scarlets,
Ospreys.
Celts and Ospreys. Understand? So obviously, going amongst those 4, the psych battle has been around that environment in those communities. That was always big. So it's almost like you find yourself psychologically down there in that, and you always had to try and do more. I think in general is that the smaller details that some of these greats around the world, I think that's where they're just stopping the others.
Yeah. Is it different type of
It's in the T's and C's, eh?
Huh? Yeah,
it's everything's in the T's and C's. You gotta go look at clean goedjies. Hy clean goedjies.
Is this waar die
vital goedjies lê? Dis waar die diamonds lê.
Yeah. So suited you actually nice, eh?
Yeah.
Just because of, you know, we always said, like I said in the intro, we like to make it rain. I wet games with Ireland.
It was constantly raining that side.
The rain ball.
Then we moved to cold and wet in George. And how has that been, Zane? Being back home after all of the traveling and stuff, coming back home?
No, I think the coming back home, the fact that you guys know what it's like being a pro athlete, up and down, living out of a suitcase. So the fact that you get to sleep in your own bed for a full year, I think that's probably an advantage. But like myself, I always fall asleep on the beanbag, so my bed hardly sees me a full, a full 365. Yeah, but I think, as you said now, make it rain. Yes, wat sou ek gedoen het om in 'n tyd soos die 50-22. Ja, dis om my game gewees het hoor. 50-22 tyd.
Now, but it's obviously awesome. You had your playing days, and we never want to stop playing. Of ek het so gevoel. I never wanted to stop playing, but unfortunately wasn't good enough, so I had to stop, my buddy. But now you're coaching, right? And I want to ask you about your coaching and where you're going with your coaching. Obviously, for the viewers, you're currently coaching at the SVD Eagles, your backline coach there. Is it something you see yourself doing because you want to stay in the game? Or do you see yourself taking it up as a full-time career and going places with it?
Yeah, look, obviously I don't want to cut myself short in terms of other environments. But for now, I've come accustomed to George. I mean, being born and bred here. I mean, George is really close to my heart, SWD, and the people. So when it comes to the game of rugby, it's probably the only thing, apart from my family, that I really love enjoying. And I mean, I don't know what it was like for you guys, but for as long as you played and for as long as you're part of rugby, it never feels like you're working day in your life.
Yeah.
So I think in general, being privileged enough to be exposed to various environments, that's just holistically that I want to try and put in one package, and obviously trying to see what is the product that we deal with on a local basis. And yeah, there is hopes and plans long term, but for now, I first have to clean up my backyard and sow and see that we can reap locally.
The main thing, stay the main
thing. He's humble, eh? Doesn't want to give us what where he's going, what his dreams. He want to keep it humble, keep it here, keep it short.
That's good, it's good.
But I actually think, I can see him, picturing him the next Flockie. I know we had Flock on last. Yeah, he's very pedantic. I know Zane is very pedantic on the kicking and very.
The Boks don't have a kicking coach.
There's a lot of teams without kicking coaches. Guys who are just, hey, so I can see him doing that kind of job. And obviously, Flock and them, they have to retire. The boys have to move on. And he's just man.
Yeah.
Next in line.
It's fantastic to see, but especially for me, Zane, it's good to see like an old Springbok giving back. You know, you don't want to die with this. Like I said last week, you don't want to die with that knowledge. You need to give it back to these youngsters, especially in SA Rugby where we are at the moment. You know, so it's just fantastic to see.
And sorry to interrupt you, Paddy. I apologize for that. But obviously, for us that grew up in the garden route, I think it's even more important that knowledge, that experience, that everybody that picked up whatever they gained from that it come back to our kids, man. 100%. Because our kids are the most important part in this area. And there's a lot of talent in the garden route that I know for a fact. And Zane, please look after our boys.
Garden route, I mean, it's been one of the fastest growing cities. So I think there's a lot of people flogging here. En ek sê nou die ander mense moet kom.
Hy sê hulle moet kom, maar die moet geld gemaak word.
Hulle moet die spanne kom afrig. So yeah, I think in general there's a lot of product and there's a lot of development to be done. But I think locally there's more than enough numbers. You understand? So to get good players. I mean, you take yourself, you take Warrick, you take Duan, you take Akker, you take Mani. Those are all that come. Those are all guys that's coming from the local hands in the production through this region of the Garden Route and predominantly George. Obviously, all four mentioned. They've been to Nikwa, yourself, Paisy. So I think
that's brilliant.
Having the luxury of being such a smaller city. I think if everybody's got the ability to work together, we can really produce.
Yeah.
We can really produce.
Giving back is the room you pay for your room here on earth. I repeat.
Wow.
Giving back.
Slower.
Giving back is the room you pay for your room here on earth. Okay.
I'm
going to write it down for you guys. Let's pen and paper. I'm going to write it down for you guys.
Why are you exposing me on the show? Don't do that.
That was not the idea.
But I like it.
Listen, while he's talking on coaching and stuff, let's go to Rugby World Cup. I just want to take a little bit what's happening, especially the past weekend. Thoughts on the Springboks? Okay, it's obviously been 4 weeks now.
Springboks.
Springboks. Springboks. It's been 4 weeks now. What's your thoughts on how the boys are moving? Where we are at the moment, and are moving into the quarterfinals?
Yeah, I think obviously there's a lot to come from this weekend, Ireland versus Scotland. So I think the boys are going to be on the edge.
Oh, that's massive, yeah.
In general, I think the fact that we got a bit of a learning in terms of being slowed down from a process perspective against Ireland, I think that was a deep look into how we're going to go forward. And I think that's a hurdle. From a lot of people would say that's a stumbling hurdle. You don't really look at it that way. I mean, that was a great learning hurdle. I mean, and all those negatives be turned into positives going into this quarterfinal weekend that everybody's probably can't wait to happen.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that after performance this weekend again, obviously the guys won't be happy about the tries conceded. So the
It's points difference.
Yeah.
Crucial.
But I think in general there's a good spirit. I mean, unfortunately now for Mapimpy, but there's another guy that's another great organizer.
Organizer. We'll let it fly.
Yeah, great organizer going back now, which is an Am. So I think in general they're in a good place.
And you're happy with the way we play? Obviously, with Polly coming in now, he brings different skill set, and Mani, the way Mani's playing, you're confident that that's the right mix we've got to go back to back with the World Cups?
Yeah, well, look, going back to back, I mean, that's everybody's aim, and that's going to be great for the country. But I think in general, both of them bring something different. More so to say that it's probably the team that needs to adjust ASAP to the various, your ball players or your drivers, to say that. Because I mean, obviously, mine's a guy, take it to the line, great fast hands, probably slightly deeper, but more an aggressive runner. Understand what I mean? So, and obviously, two total different guys when it comes to the technical side as well. So I think for the team, they have to adjust who's going to be their driver on the day.
So can you see Scotland beating Ireland?
Yes.
That's what he sees. I'm not seeing that. Because you've been in Leicester and Ireland is Leinster.
Yeah.
What do you see?
Ireland is Leinster.
Pretty much.
No, look, I think for both there's a hell of a lot to play for.
Make a call.
Heel lang.
Nee.
Make a call.
Yeah, Ireland gaan wen.
Ireland.
Yeah. We're in the same boat, man. Me and this guy in the same boat.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But we'll see what's going to happen this weekend. Zane boy, thank you very much for your time, eh? I know you're busy, man, especially with SVT, and you need to be very busy, especially SWD, especially coming to this weekend as well. Massive game coming up.
Yeah.
So just let me know. Just give me the team sheet and stuff.
I'm so excited because I know he's going to share the episode through the whole of Blanco.
Moet wees.
Have to be.
Ek glo my, ek sal dit dalk doen, maar my vrou definitief.
Ja, like a WhatsApp story. Elke WhatsApp groep is in en uit.
Die kerk zie je nog niet, that's fine. You can put it on the church's WhatsApp group. I did it with my father. Put it on the church's WhatsApp group because behind the ruck is for everyone.
Yeah, 100%.
But thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Really great. Thanks very much and all the best.
Wow, partner. Oh, super fantastic to see Zane boy, man.
Yes.
A guy that's played this for the Springboks 31 times. Yes, he got like over 80 caps for Super Rugby.
And
what experience?
Actually, in George, there's 2 schools. There used to be 2 really good rugby schools, PV Botha and Outeniqua, and he actually went to PV Botha. Just a random fact.
Random fact.
Random fact. I apologize.
Yeah, that was super awesome to have him in the studio. You know, in his own valley, in his hometown, Blanco's area, Garden Route. En sometimes wanneer na jou mense toe kom, na jou vriende toe kom, let hom bietjie te chat. Ja. Om hulle te sien, you have to go to them.
Maar waar is die koffie? Where's the coffee?
Ouma Sarie. Ouma Sarie told us he's going to make coffee for us. The coffee. Uitseker, moenie roerie.
Luister goed.
Ouma Sarie! Is jy hier?
Ja, Johan.
Ons wag nou nog vir jou.
Ja, Johan.
Yes. Yes. Ons het ons gaste baie gesê. Kom sit 'n bietjie maar ons we want to chat a little bit in terms of we are for Rugby World Cup and behind the ruck is Rugby World Cup type of show where we give something to our viewers and stuff. So you know what's a Rugby World Cup?
Yeah, the Springboks.
The Springboks, you know the Springboks, yeah.
Yeah, the last Botha.
No, that's too far.
That is 1990 something.
It's now Mani.
Yeah,
Mani.
I love Mani, but you know what the pity is, Ruby? It's a pity that he is a Manda. I would like him to be a man. I like money.
Yes, you like money. No, not money, because I know you like money.
And money.
On money, okay.
And money, yeah, I like it very much.
I live there.
Yes. Is you what a Rugby World Cup?
I don't think so.
I watching it there.
You watching it?
By my pastor's house. I watching it. Yeah, I have open view. I don't have the dish.
Okay. Don't have the dish.
I don't have the dish.
Open time.
I have open views. I buy once off. I watching it. I don't have DST.
Like data? Like buying data or airtime?
No, I don't buy data.
Okay, nothing.
I don't chat.
You don't chat?
You don't chat.
I don't chat.
But the Springboks are doing well at this Rugby World Cup. They're going into the playoffs. Hopefully, we were holding thumbs for them. You got a favorite player?
Yes, who's?
It must
you like the small guys?
The small guys,
the big guys?
I'm telling you now, I like money.
Money?
I like money.
The money?
No money.
Money.
Yeah, the one kicking when we trying, he kick. To the who's men's pala post the kicker money. I love him. I love it. But now he's engagement, so I don't worry.
You don't worry. Okay,
don't.
That's good to see. So your children as well, they're not playing.
I wish they were playing. They're useless.
They're useless.
Wow.
They just want to go chicky play.
They don't even chicky. They only They want to say. Let me keep my business private.
It's an age restriction show.
Exactly.
Yes.
I telling it's age restrict. I cannot tell my children's business.
Yes.
But I wish they playing rugby, but they don't.
Yes, but that's good. Just a little bit of insight.
We just need to make sure we get it different.
Yes, because
rugby spice it up.
Yeah, Ouma Sarie's house.
And it's a show for everyone. Rugby players and Oumas.
Yes. Ouma, thank you very much.
I put the kettle on. Can I make the coffee?
Put the kettle on because we got Warrick Gelant coming soon.
And I also long do the invoice for you for using my house. Let me coffee, ne?
Yeah, coffee.
Invoice.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Ouma's die mekaar, ne?
We'll get there.
Ouma's begin die mekaar.
Yeah, there was a lovely chat with Ouma Sarie.
Lekker.
She knows, but she doesn't know, but she knows.
At least she loves money.
Oh, money.
Yes.
Yeah, looks like invoice money. So guys, up next we've got Warrick Gelant. And Paige is back, eh? He's back, the guy from episode 4.
Let's go.
Another friend of BTR, eh? We like this friend of BTR.
So much friends, man. This is Chris. You and Chris.
Yeah.
You and Chris. Everyone is a new friend. BTR has got the same money. Let's go.
Warrick Boyki, how you doing? Are you good?
Thank you for having me back. So soon.
So soon, yeah.
Love it.
4 minus 13.
But we told you in episode 4.
Yeah.
That we want you back.
Yes.
But I like the cycle 4, 8, 12, and then I'm back.
Yes. It's 13, Friday the 13th. Okay.
All of the boys are counting. I like it.
Counting.
I like it.
Yeah, but it makes sense, man. In his comfort zone, huh? Maar ons oefen by Outeniqua, St. George, Garden Route boy, huh?
Yeah, nah. I mean, here we are again. I don't like the fact that you say Page is not back home.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's gonna...
Fair enough.
Yeah.
He forgets about me sometimes, Warrick.
Yeah.
And it hurts my feelings. I'm a very sensitive guy.
Exactly. And
I'm very sensitive. I'm my feelings hurt. They don't hurt my feelings.
Yeah, I know.
I'm also bad.
Apologize, yeah.
But let's go.
Let's go quickly. We're going to run through the reviews for Rugby World Cup. So obviously a friend of BTR, so awesome to have you. I mean, we like the input you guys have as a friend of BTR. We had Gio Applin last weekend, and the response was unbelievable, I must say, from that. So just quickly going to the Rugby World Cup, how was the couple of weeks for you so far, if you ever overall of the Rugby World Cup?
I think the sort of part where we're going to knockouts, I think it's sort of like you can see, I won't say the first few rounds wasn't quality, but it's sort of, you know, people are like, we're getting close to knockouts.
Yes.
So it's sort of, you know, you saw the Georgia, Fiji game.
It is big teams that get knocked out.
Australia might not make it there, so it all depends on this weekend fixture of Fiji.
I'm sorry, Boogie. Juan has already decided Australia is not making it. So he's convinced they're not going to stay on longer. If they've done that game, the next day they're out. That's not telling us.
The next day you're out. If you play 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock a.m., you're on a plane.
Okay.
That's how Rugby World Cup works. And I think Australia is on one of those planes.
Okay.
But quickly, look, before we get there, because we got one of those games in here, we just quickly going to go to a review quickly.
Yes.
Okay, you guys can just jump in here. So the first game, obviously, we had Uruguay 36-26, Uruguay 36 and 26 Namibia. Yeah. That was the game Alistair wanted to target, and we said that he must target.
Namibia hasn't won a World Cup game yet, which is obviously tough. I don't know, Boogie, what your opinion is on it. We were obviously hoping this year it would change. Our neighbouring country.
It was a close game, actually.
They came out of the blocks, guys. Hot. It's like my 40-meter sprint when we used to test.
Maybe 20.
20 meter, Boogie. The first 5 meters, I'm lightning.
Yeah.
And then I become like cement.
I must say, you know, a couple of professional players and it's always tough. Ja, kom van die week af en dan moet je gaan oefenen and tough, and putting him in a tough pool like France and New Zealand, and the result didn't go for them. But and the next game up was Japan 28-22 Samoa.
Good rugby.
That was good rugby. We had New Zealand 97 and against Italy with 17.
Yeah.
It was also like a good game. Okay, and then Argentina 59, Chile 5. And then the most important game, Fiji 17, 12 Georgia. Hey? That was a crack of a game, eh? You watch the first 40 minutes, it was like 9-0 for Georgians, and a tight place, eh? Huh?
The mutton pieces, obviously the Georgian boys, I think is one of the countries that not a lot of people in the rugby world, guys, has given enough credit, Boogie, in the growth of what this rugby has become in the past few years. I obviously know last year they beat Wales at the Principality. All of the games they've been competitive. I think they probably also don't have a lot of players that playing top level rugby, but I mean their growth in the way that they're currently playing, I think they do need a lot of compliments coming their way, because we can see a growth. Their rugby is doing this.
They can only get better from there. And
exactly.
Upsets will come.
Yeah.
And Boogie, looking at Fiji as well, we are supposed for the first 40 minutes. The Georgians actually on top of them, because the Georgians were actually playing smarter rugby, because they didn't play in their half of the field. They gave the ball to those big Fijians, trying to get gaps, and they just put them under pressure. The errors came, the offloads didn't work for them. In terms of Fijians, their shape, they don't even have a proper shape. They all rely on individual skill. What do you think about a team with an individual skill like Fiji and a structured team like England and those type of boys? The difference of it.
I think for Fiji, personally, I think also the crowd that took place there. Games like this in the past, they would have lost. But it's sort of how they stayed in this game. They, like you say, nothing went for them the first half. 9-0 behind. Georgia was on top of them. And then they just come through, obviously, with individual brilliance again from Batia, that offload to Ambosi. So, I think it's just that, like I said, the Fijians from the past, they would have lost that game. But now they sort of can stay into it. And your point on playing a structured team, I think that's what makes Fiji dangerous. The sort of, the Georgians team where it's sort of like it's passion, it's heart. they would stay in a game against Fiji, but the more structured teams, then is when the individual brilliance will come through. And I think Fiji plays so much easier against a team that's so structured, like the Six Nations team, maybe the Springboks as well. But it's there where you know, Atuisova, Redrada, and
just to see those post play is unbelievable, man. Just the magic, the offloads, and the physicality. Did you see the one try with Botias giving that offload? Huh? 5 guys on his back. Huh?
Botia plays 12, 6, 12.
He can play 2.
He can probably play wing. He probably play a hooker.
Yeah. Yes, that was good to see from the Fijians.
I must say,
and credit to them for
partner. That is after the box. That is my favorite team, Boogie, in this World Cup.
I feel the same.
I feel like there's a small part of me that's rooting for them. I'm like, win, asseblief. Oh, go to the quarters. Please do well.
Us supporting the Fijians.
Yeah.
That second half, we're like all over the show, jumping and screaming, and start scoring tries. So hopefully they can get the last game against Portugal, because that's crucial.
Yes.
Because that game is going to tell Australia, listen here, uit by die deur. En ek dink hulle is klaar uit by die deur. But we'll get there. The other games was actually Scotland 84 and Romania 0. I said it as well. I don't like the zeros. We had a couple of zeros.
There's been a lot of ducks in the World Cup.
I think it's the fourth duck.
Yeah, the boys are not getting any wickets.
Yeah.
In France.
LBWs.
Nothing.
Yeah, and then obviously Australia beating Portugal. Yes, they didn't play that well. But then the most important and the big one is Springboks versus Tonga.
Yes. But Paddy, before we get there, I apologize. Can we go back, guys, to New Zealand, Italy quickly? Just for a little bit. I feel like we shouldn't go past the game so quickly, because obviously the score was nuts.
Yeah, 97-17.
97-17. Wow, I actually felt at the end they're going to get the 100, and that would have been embarrassing. And we're going to talk about the game analytics now, but I just want to tell you guys something quickly. That game felt to me like, you know, when you're in school, you write an essay, and you are so confident when you hand in the essay to the teacher. Yeah. I felt Italy and the world was so confident Italy is going to do well.
Yeah, it's going to be a B or C. Or
B or C. Then the essay comes back after the teacher's marked your essay. And there's red lines everywhere. It's capital letters that wasn't capital letters. There's full stops. And that was kind of the way I saw the game. I thought Italy had so much errors, guys. And obviously a team like the All Blacks just capitalize and hurt them.
Oh, yes. No, they want song, especially I think from that loss against the opener, they're trying to build themselves now slowly but surely, and they're finding that combinations, that perfect combinations, and just the hunger to show the world, hey, don't disrespect us like this. Yeah. Yes. There's a lot of like disrespect going on, especially when it comes to.
They also had an extra week off. They got Shannon Frizzell and Jody back. I think
that makes a massive.
Frizzell is a big difference.
Yeah, so they got those two guys back, and then, like you said, it's not sort of it's not Italy making a lot of mistakes. It's just that pressure New Zealand creates. Because in all the areas they were actually clinical. You know, they scrammed them off the ball. They took their lineouts. They mauled them. You know, the turnover balls. They capitalized on it. It's Adi having the skill set of a back. It's the backs, Mark Leah running like a forward. Yeah. It's sort of when everything clicks for them, I think they become sort of unstoppable.
It's massive to see when 1 or 2 changes can make a massive difference. Like even like Jody Barrett at number 12 makes a massive difference to how the New Zealand backline moves. Yeah. And Shannon as well coming into
that's the guy for me that makes them dangerous. Once they've Shannon Frizzell, even when Shannon Frizzell played against sorry guys, when Shannon Frizzell played against South Africa at Mount Smart Stadium, he was the big difference in that first half against the Springboks.
Yes.
And every game that he's missed, the All Blacks have struggled or lost.
Yes.
So I think that's my view. That's the way I've seen it, Boogie. I don't know what you guys think, but I think he makes them kind of tick currently, like the way Jerome Kaino used to.
Yes.
He can stop the collision. He gets momentum. He's that extra, I won't say extra lock, but he's got the physical capabilities of a big lock. So from a weight perspective. So I think he's the big guy in that team that if he's not there, All Blacks struggle. And I think the All Blacks want him to be on the field.
So we all agree that New Zealand is slowly but surely feeling themselves. They're feeling themselves.
I think also a very important thing that happened after the game, I think in Foster, Jody himself Aaron Smith, they all had one thing in common. They sort of said the 10 minutes after halftime they struggled. Which basically comes down to, like you said, that upward curve, but also how they are process driven. Because they said they let Italy back in that 10 minutes after. And I'm thinking, you got 90 points on those guys. But it's still the mindset of how can we, you know, so it looks like they should have, or they wanted to go for 120 points. If they say they let them back in for 10 minutes. So what is sort of their mindset and where they're going? Sort of so that they have one thing in mind, which is the World Cup trophy. So that's where
they do have that they did have ruthlessness in them in that game, right? I actually felt sorry for the Italians there after a while, guys.
We all had big hopes, you know. That was the decider game. Who's ever going to get to that second spot? And looking forward to that Ireland. If it's going to be Ireland, we're still going to discuss it now. Ireland, New Zealand, quarterfinal. It's going to be...
There's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff coming up. But we're going to get to that. But then back to our boys.
Yep.
Back to our boys. I'm a Bokke. Fox Tonga.
Happy?
I was happy. I was also happy.
I know people wanted a bigger score, gents.
Yes.
I kind of knew Tonga was going to be tough. They got world-class players in the team.
Yes.
I mean, so I was happy with the result. I thought our boys played well. I actually
key players. So what's the key players for you?
For us?
For the Boks.
For me, obviously, first of the guy who once I was worried. He's a fantastic player. He's one of your teammates at the Stormers, Dion Fourie. I didn't doubt his ability. I was just worried the fact that he played new role as hooker, and he was outstanding.
He was outstanding. He was man of the match.
Man of the match. His line out, his primary.
14 out of 16, and it was clinical. And it wasn't like front ball. Anyone can go front ball or bailouts. It was out the back.
No, it was good. He was honestly my wildest.
It was fair play.
Surpassed everything for me.
Yeah. So you stood out for you. Other players that actually in the back line.
I think Paulie did very well.
Yes.
I mean, I've played with that guy for a long time. His BMT is next level. How can you play 30 minutes of club rugby in 18 months and then you come back and you give a performance
like that? Clinical performance.
Yeah, I think that is special. I think for him, for Mani, who played together at the Bulls, so they sort of know each other. They would support each other, and they can sort of bring that quality up again from sort of whatever way they want to go. I think the Tonga match was the one match where we sort of were matched physically, but then our other skill sets came through, and we could have basically shown what we can do when people match us physically. Because that's what we have over all other teams, is the physicality. So once they match us, but we can now go aerial route, we can basically keep balling.
Balance in our game, eh? We got options in our game.
Boys, I love the fact that we finally innovating.
But I must just to latch on to that as well, because we were discussing about Pollard. Is he fresh? Is he in good shape? But fair play. He's gemakkelijk van deze voeten.
I think I actually want to add to what Boogie said. If there's one player that I've also played with in my career, that the big lights and the bright lights and the pressure doesn't do it. He actually gets better
under pressure,
which I want to compliment him on.
Form, I must say.
And I think for us going into the World Cup with one flyer was always a concern. So for me, having him back, because Mani's played brilliant rugby. Mani brings something different to our game. His hands is goud as Montana and Kimberley gaan sit. We must put his hands in Kimberley. It's a national treasure, the ability. I actually told my brother over the weekend, I can't remember when last I've seen Mani give a bad pass. And I don't think people understand the fact that if your fly-off can constantly put the ball with the outside backs, with time, on the same spot, boys, daar is goud. So Mani's on good form. We got Polly back with game time.
Yeah,
a bit of fitness. We got options.
We got options everywhere. Kubas was playing well as well.
Yes.
He was all over the show, put some pressure on. He played a good game. Even our forwards as well. It doesn't matter who's on the bomb squad, who's starting. Because it felt to me it looked like a B team, but it looked like we can play anyone now, and it's still an A team. So in terms of how we look, we're looking very sharp. How did you guys feel about what type of mindset we went into that game? Because it was a physical game. It was koppe stamp, power on power. Hey, the way we played.
I also think one guy that actually is the game changer currently for the Springboks is Kwagga Smith. The stuff he does, like just that off the ball work, that extra sort of counteract that he gives you the breakdown, the turnovers he makes, his feet when he carries. He always gets you momentum. He has the offload game. So I think that is amazing for the Springboks currently. And I think also in terms of their game plan and sort of how they want to go, I don't think there's an era where you can stop the Springboks if everything goes on.
I want to tap into his mind, partner. The Bokke tech, right? Obviously, for years, I think we've kind of been the kicking, suffocating, defensive pressure type of team. Am I blind? Is there something different to our tech that they've brought into the game, or not?
No, I think the pressure areas were always there. It just sort of that mindset of if it works, why change?
Okay.
So, I mean, the suffocation in the way the Springboks play, it always worked. And so you could never fold it. It's just now with Mani, he has the ability to kick both left foot and right foot into sort of a cross kick space. He can go up, fade. So it's sort of, they can go to all areas now, and there's not sort of, that fear is not there. I think they sort of allow themselves to mess up the execution, but they know they have the skill set to go to that areas. And I think that's the sort of difference. He's getting empowered to basically allow himself to be free and go to whatever he wants to. I think that's the sort of difference.
Files, cross kick file, I pull it out.
Just
so go
space in front of you and make it a season.
As
En jy sê
ja, same.
Jy sê ek sien die oefening is. Ja.
Okay.
Kom miskien hier van die Garden Road area.
Yes. It's because of the ocean breeze. The Karoo, the Sesequa, there's a lot. Variety. Variety, you come to the Garden Route. We give you variety.
So where's your YouTube clips?
Nothing.
We're still waiting on that.
Nothing.
So you guys are happy with the box? Are we looking in terms of all our players and the shape the players are in? Tonga, they gave us a game actually. That first 20 minutes came out.
I want to give a lot of credit, partner, to the captain, Ben Tamifuna.
Yeah.
I think there's always been a lot of negative stigma around him as a player because of weight and stuff. I thought that guy was excellent against us.
He was unbelievable, I must agree. He was physical with his carries, and Dwayne and all those, our big boys were struggling to get a hold of him because he's massive. I don't know how much he weighed, probably 140 or something. And he scored a try as well. Yeah. And he played about 60 minutes. So to move around with that body and to play a game like that, I must give him credit as well. Yeah, it was unbelievable. And the other boys, are you guys happy with Malakai Fikitua, Peter Aki, Charles?
Yeah, I think what Tonga did very well is, like you say, a guy like Ben, if you want him to chase kicks and sort of get around the corner and fold, he won't be effective. But they use him the right way. I think they use the players the right way. They know if they keep the ball maybe for extra phase or two, they can sort of get an advantage or get a bit of momentum, and they would get the X factor right through with Malakai and Peter and them. But sort of if they went into a kicking battle with the Springboks, they know they would have lost. And the game is already lost before it even started. So they played towards their strengths, which helped them a lot. And I think it just sort of the Springboks character in how they weathered the storm nicely.
That was a fantastic game. It was power versus power. Because you all know the Islanders are physical, but everyone knows the Springboks are physical as well. So I was just lucky that we didn't get actually one injury. So my Pimpy's got a little bit of an injury. And on that as well, there was a lot of like drama and inconsistency on some of the goals. Again. Sorry, I want to cut. So, again. It was head-on-head collisions, but it was yellow cards, both of them. The one with Eben with Charles, and then also the one with Mpimpy and the 9 as well. Yeah, and then obviously the Pont one that got a 5-week suspension. And then this one, obviously, nothing happened, was a penalty only. So I know what they said on the field was that the level of danger wasn't, obviously, they didn't see the degree of danger to be that high. But I mean, the guy's cheekbone is fractured. So I mean... how can it not be dangerous? If the guy has to fly home and his World Cup is over, it's obviously dangerous then. So obviously behind the ruck, we're not a show where we
go with referees. But I think we, as rugby fanatics and as rugby people, we want consistency in that area. So please, World Rugby, give us some consistency.
Skryf 'n bladsy, gee vir die mense wat maak sommer 'n show and explain it. We tried with Jacob Piper, but
it's like a menu when you go to Spur, right? If you see a burger and you order a burger, you're not getting a chicken schnitzel. You understand? But that's what we're getting currently. You guys understand? They say there's different laws.
There's
different. Okay, you guys get my point. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so that's hard on Olympia as well. And Olympia is out of the Rugby World Cup. And there's someone faltering in and coming in. Lukhanyo. We're excited to have him.
Yes.
Back.
Yes.
Hopefully he's fresh and ready to go with his niggle. I mean, you've played with him in 2019, the Rugby World Cup. Whatever type of difference is it now with him in the squad? Yeah, because we got Jesse that played well. Kanan that played well. Okay, and for him just being in the squad, sometimes if he's not going to play or not, depending on his form, what difference will he make to the squad?
He will make a huge difference. I mean, Rashi said it last week, or Jack said it. When Pollard came in, like he's done it for them in the past. And so even if, I mean, now we're going straight into knockout, so we don't know if Lukhanyo will play or not. But having him there, having his voice, having his experience there, I think that will make a huge difference. Even if they go with Jesse or Kanan. Just sort of, I mean, he's done it now for us at the highest level. So he's been there, done that. So if he's playing, I mean, amazing for the Springboks. He'll come in, he's played with Cheslinkolbe, he's played with Dukes, he's played with Pollard and all of them. So he also knows the job and he'll do it amazingly well. So, but if he doesn't play, then yet again, he's sort of experience and knowledge he can sort of give those two guys if they're going to play. It's
100%, especially for Kanan as someone that's going to be there for the next World Cup and the next World Cup in the 13 jumper. I think he's going to just, you know, learning from Jesse Kriel, learning from Lukhanyo.
It's like a sponge.
Yeah.
Absorb.
Massive opportunities, And Boogie just on that as well. You know, obviously we got Andre that's in incredible form and Mane that's in incredible form. What type of is there a difference of when the one plays and the other one plays? Because obviously we all know what Mane can bring with our tech, you know, giving us work, getting the Carlos, the cross kicks, the up and unders and that attacking flair. And this weekend I saw a little bit that Andre is more of a guy that if he doesn't feel like there's 20 or 30 meters of momentum, he drops in the pocket and he gets the cross kick. Will that be a effect when it comes to quarterfinals, or is it good for us in terms of our balance?
The two things about those two flyers is their personalities. They have very strong personalities in how they want to play the game and how they see the game. And I think we should always respect that view. And sort of, you'll see there's two different ways because they both see the game differently. Both ways are right and both ways will win you games. So it's sort of how we're going to bring that together. And if we go with either one, I mean, if we start with Pollard or start with Mane, you'll get the same result in a different way. So we should respect those opinions, I think, because sometimes we sort of want to force our opinions onto them or tell them to play a certain way or do a certain thing. No, I think we should allow them because it's very, very strong personalities. And like I said, I played with both of them, and the way they see the game is insane. We should allow them.
You can see it on the field as well. There's just the calmness of Pollard, you know. The team exactly knows, he steers the team.
I'm een ready trokkie.
Ja, is lekker, Hij already steers, man moet werken. And when Mane comes on as well, you can see that confidence, you know. Oh, guys,
I told you last, when he does that with the arms and he goes to that jog.
And it's not like... Obviously, we spoke about it last week about the people going and talking negative. And as we said, hey, stop that abuse and stuff like that from the people. But to bounce back, let them tell the world, hey, listen, from the touches, I show you what I can do. And not only that, touch kicks as well. He's forcing that extra. We spoke about it for a couple of weeks.
That's a super skill.
Yeah, it's a super skill. He's forcing that extra 20 meters. Is going to help our forwards. It's just amazing to see what we have in the 10 jumper right now. And hopefully, if Rassi and Jackie and them can get it right, they can, you know, work it and balance it right going forward into the playoffs.
No, I'm extremely happy with guys. I'm not going to lie to you. We're looking good. I'm happy that we got 2 10s in the squad. For the Springbok team, it's good. Guys are with me, so I'm looking. I think we're going to be in the quarters. I'm confident. But then this weekend, partner,
it's a quiet weekend for us.
yeah, the Boks are not playing. But then there's another game that we're going to watch, obviously. And we just need to quickly...
Our South African supporters, they're going to watch this weekend, eh? Yes. Ireland versus Scotland. That is massive. Because whatever happens there, it's got a knock-on effect to whatever happens in our quarterfinals. Just quickly to go through...
I was just about to say.
Yeah, quickly to go through Pool B. There's only one way they can knock us out of the Rugby World Cup, and that is if they beat Ireland with a bonus point.
Scotland.
If Scotland beats Ireland with 5 points, get 5 lock points.
Yes.
With 4 tries, get a bonus point. And also, Ireland gets a losing bonus point. And then Scotland must also get plus 22 points.
Then we're out.
Okay. That's the one way we can be out. But there's also like other options where we can be first or second. So if they beat Ireland with a bonus point, Ireland doesn't get a losing bonus point. Ireland is out of the
one that I called in the beginning of the World Cup.
Ireland is out.
Okay.
Because then they don't get any points. They will still get stuck on 14, and then Scotland and South Africa will be on 15, and they will go through.
Okay.
Those are the options. So very, very interesting what's going to happen is we're going to. So he's obviously called Scotland to go through with the Springboks.
Okay.
I've called Ireland to go through with the Springboks.
Yeah.
So we actually want to know what your thoughts are, what you feel about Ireland and Scotland in this massive game. I mean, you've played with Finn Russell and the boys, and you felt Leinster in the URC a couple of times, so you know what Ireland can bring to the party. What you feel like on this massive game coming up?
So I think Scotland they have one option. They have to go all out. There's no safe option. There's no just winning the game. So knowing Finn, he'll go for it from the get-go. Because like I said, there's no sort of try to get into the game, sort of have a first 20 minutes, and they're going to go out of the box. So it's one of two ways. It's either Scotland wins or Ireland wins. I don't think there will be a in-between. So I think sort of the mindset will be very important for Ireland and for Scotland. Scotland needs to be on the same page from the get-go. They need to get plus 22 points in 5.
They got to go hard in.
Ireland, I don't think they'll sort of see just to win the game. I think they have a process as well. They'll go how they want to play in the knockouts and getting through. The only thing for Ireland is they have to play the same squad to sort of get the results all the time. So by quarters, all of the guys has been, it's a good or bad thing. All of them is like 3, 4, 5 tests under their belt for the last sort of 5 weeks, So I think it's going to be the challenge for.
Yes, that's going to be.
You see, the point he's making is making me more confident in my call. You don't think so?
I don't see it coming. I actually see all we're talking about Scotland putting 5 points, get a bonus point against Ireland. I don't see it coming. I actually see Ireland blasting them off.
Quick question. Do they have to get a bonus point to go through? Scotland
needs to get a bonus point against Ireland
to go through. Okay.
But
so
they might
a win, they're still going home. Oh, wow. That is an interesting Sunday.
They need to get a bonus point to make sure they get to 15 lock points.
Okay.
But I don't see, from my side, I don't see it happening. I see Ireland is going to come out fighting. Obviously, Scotland will be up for the game. They know it's a do-or-die situation for them. But Ireland's
my only reason, partner, and Boogie, my only reason for backing Scotland is they currently, I think, the highest ranked that they've been, number 5. They're a good rugby team. I think they got a fly-off if he's on the day. That can beat Ireland. Obviously, if he's off, the Scotland team won't win that test. But I mean, Finn Russell has got the talent and the capabilities that if he's firing at 100%, that could be an interesting game on Sunday. You understand? And then, the next episode I'll sit here with a smile. Okay? Next episode I'll be with a smile because I was right.
I'm not sure about that. So quickly on that predictions for them. So what do you think?
Obviously,
if they need to get 5 lock points.
Let me go 29-8.
29-8. For Scotland?
For Scotland.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I ask again, 29-8.
I'm sure.
Okay, 29-8. What do we have this side, Boogie?
I think it will be a high-scoring game. I think it will be. Ireland will get a bonus point, so I think they will score 4 tries. It will be 28, and Scotland 34.
34. So you're backing
I think Scotland will win. I don't think they'll win with the margins they're supposed to.
Oh, they're supposed to
Okay.
that plus 22, 21 points is going to be. Now, from my side, it's easy. Eh? Ireland's going to blast them off the park. It's going to be a 35-10 type of vibe for Ireland.
Okay.
Because I strongly believe what Ireland has showed me the past couple of weeks, they've been strong. If you look at, we spoke about the New Zealanders with inside Ireland, you know, Bandi Aki, the Weet-Bix, he's physical, James Lowe, all those type of boys. Sexton is not going to allow for Finn Russell to, you know, he's going to say, hey, Finn, take it easy. So I think they're going to dominate us.
They say a broken clock is right twice a day.
Twice a day. Okay.
No.
Twice a day.
Twice a day, a broken clock. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
That's a lot of rugby.
It's a lot of things we kind of covered. We're excited about the Springboks.
Yeah.
I know we don't have Springbok Rugby this weekend, but we got a week to rest.
Yeah, but the people have behind the ruck this weekend. So there's no ball games, but you guys are watching the episode. On the church group, you're sending that thing around. You're making sure that people are subscribing. Boogie, nice mensen, has to watch.
Yeah.
George.
And George. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Boogie, from our side, thank you very much for coming
again,
out. Yeah. I know it's... The more he comes onto the show, the more we must give stuff. So we're going to give him a package and just say thank you for his input soon.
Soon it will come.
Yeah, it will come.
So not today.
Not today. Not today. Soon. Yeah.
Yeah, soon.
So Boogie, thank you very much, for coming out and making this time. I know you're a busy guy. I can see you're a busy guy and working hard off the field. So it's super awesome to have you here, and especially in your hometown as well. I mean, you're a friend of Behind the Ruck.
Yeah.
And you... We spoke about we're going to get to episode 200, and he will be available.
He's counting in sixes or in tens now, so I think he's going to enforce. He wants to be 20 or 21 again, so we'll see him soon.
So thank you very much for coming out, and we'll hopefully see you soon. All the best with the pre-season and the games coming up.
Thank you, so. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, partner. Whoa. It was obviously fantastic insight once again by another intelligent player, Warrick Gelant.
Friend of BTR.
Friend of the show. Obviously today's episode, now it's a little chicken wrap. Now it's done. I'm obviously say it again.
Yeah,
it's the end of our episode.
Yeah.
Were you happy with the episode?
I'm happy with the episode. We got Zane in here. We've spoken to Ouma Sarie.
Yes.
And Warrick Gelant, he never disappoints.
Yeah,
every time I talk to him about rugby, it looks like my level of coaching just goes up. I'm at level 5 now, it looks like it. The way the information and the way of thinking. And
I just love the way he sees the game differently. And that's for me is so cool. He sees the ways like he's got a different camera view to the way he sees rugby. Korrel for
science.
Yes. But I must say, today Behind the Ruck was obviously different, buddy. When we said in the beginning, when we started the show, we're going to keep them guessing.
We keep them guessing. They don't know what's coming.
They did not expect Ouma to be in the show.
Ouma Sarie.
Ouma Sarie to hulle die mekaar. Hulle weet nie waar hulle nou is.
Ouma Sarie nie nervous, hè?
Ja. Ouma nou was a tech there. Stages where Ouma came here as hot.
And it's been a while since I tasted that Rick coffee uit 8 seker meneer Rory. But it's baie lekker geweest by beskik.
Yes. But I think obviously another good episode for us.
Yeah, we're super excited.
Just to all the viewers out there, guys, thank you for constantly liking, sharing and subscribing, making the show possible, supporting us.
And on subscribing?
Guys, it's an easy process, right? My parents did it. It's for free.
It's for free.
Make sure you subscribe.
Everyone ask if it's...
I think that hulle dink is so skuld by jy maak.
You must pay money.
Yeah,
it's not money.
It's mahala.
It's free.
Mahala. So subscribe so you can get the notifications that the episode is out on Friday. It makes everything easier. Okay, so subscribe. Don't be roofkykers. And then obviously important, our sponsor Lulabet. Up there. Thank you for your constant support.
Thank you very much. Yeah, go to the channel. Go to Google sports.lulabet.co.za.
Well done, buddy.
Yeah, I don't have that app for now, but you guys can crack on, enjoy it because it's fantastic partner of us.
Yes.
We enjoy it. Yeah.
And that's a chicken wrap.
It's a chicken wrap. All good things come to an end, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week, guys. I'm Rudy Page.
I'm Juan de Jong.
And the Ruck is clear.